Well, hello and welcome and good afternoon. Hi, everyone. This is John with Rook and Rasp. Today we are live again. Last night we had Craig from Nerdburger on for Nerdburger Con 2021. But today we have a special stream going out, which is the first time we've done two of the same games on this channel for Seriously Let's Play. We're doing Freedom Squadron. Now, this is a wonderful game that is currently, there is a Kickstarter going on for it, and highly recommend going out and checking that out. We will be sure to link in the VOD to go and get that. And be sure to go check out and support Evil Beagle Games on their website. That said, today we have a special guest with us. And sitting in the GM chair today, we have Shawn. So thank you, Shawn, for coming on.
Pleasure to be here. Happy to be here entirely. And may I just say, if anybody is suddenly rushing out to go and support the Kickstarter, I advise that you get a an option with both the field manual and the Friends Foes manual as part of the deal.
Absolutely. I actually switched over recently so I can also be sure I get the hardbound copy. So wanted to make sure I had it. But that said, also coming in today, we have Erin returning.
Hi, and not it. I can't remember what I'm supposed to say. I'm sorry.
You're Erin. Hi.
Hi.
And also coming in today for the show, we have Shawn.
Today I'll be the other Sean. And you probably see me on our Star Trek games, Illuminated page, playing Call of Cthulhu, in a special mini stream for Fragged Empire, which is a great game. So check us out.
Absolutely. Thank you, Shawn. And also joining us today, we've got Ted.
Hi guys, I'm Ted. You will also probably recognize me from the past Freedom Squadron games, the Suited game, as well as the Fragged Empire game. So good to be here. It's always fun.
Awesome. All right, everyone. Well, that said, this is Seriously Let's Play. This is our game that we usually run on Saturdays, and it's our way to bring people from all over the community and basically say, hey, seriously, let's just play a game and enjoy and, get to know each other. A lot of times we don't really know who the creators are of the games that we really enjoy. So today we have Shawn, and Shawn, this is your show and your game. So let's kick it off.
Okay, thank you very much there. All right. Okay. Uh, Before we get started, I'd just like to apologize for the green void here. Just they had to set up something to prevent all the traffic that's going to occur behind me today from being a visible distraction. All right, so exterior, Washington, D.C., night. Camera pans slowly towards an upscale building with a lot of activity outside. Limousines coming and going, people in evening dress mounting the stairs and going inside. It is the annual Governor's Ball, where the President of the United States, every governor from the 50 states, well, 53 states actually, come to think of it, in to meet and greet, see, talk to local celebrities and the like. Freedom Squadron is mounting the security detail. Inside, General Steele, commander of Freedom Squadron, and Hardcore, second in command, are in dressed uniforms watching everybody mill about in the grand ballroom. General Steele looks over at the side where the caterers are and mutters, "That's an awful lot of carving stations. Why do we need so many carving stations?" Hardcore answers back, "You know the president. He's very fond of churrasco, right? And barbecue. Hmm. I don't know why you have your eyes on the carving stations, though, my friend. There is somebody who looks like she wants your attention." He points, we pan over to a beautiful, demure young woman, short black hair, spectacles, who keeps looking furtively over her glass of pink, bubbly Texas sparkling wine towards General Steele himself. General Steele looks back to Hardcore and says, "She's young enough to be my daughter." Hardcore replies, "My friend, you are still alive. Enjoy life while you have it. Pronto, go and speak to her." General Steele doesn't even have to make a move, though, as the young lady steps over and asks politely, "General, may I have this dance?" General Steele sighs, hands his glass of whiskey to Hardcore, and says, "Very well, young lady, but just the one." Meanwhile, outside, who are you, and how are you defending this expensive governor's ball?
I can go
Stretcher, let's start
first.
with you. Yeah.
Hey, hi. So Stretcher actually is found a place where she can case the crowd. She's as far as defense, she's more for the when things go bad, not if things go bad. Um, so she's just waiting for something to go wrong. She's probably up in a balcony, observing, looking for signs that something's up.
Uh, yeah, were you about to go?
Looks like that's you, John. Go ahead.
All right. So tonight I'm playing Hollow Point, and she is kind of an athlete and sniper. So I'll actually be probably out towards the. Actually, let's go ahead and say I'm on top of the building, uh, under a tarp that is basically designed or decorated to look a little bit like asphalt, probably like a printed pattern. And that way I kind of blend with my surroundings a little bit. And I have my rifle next to me, and I have my binoculars, and I'm scanning basically at a distance, seeing what threats there might be, either near the wall or further out or on the street, things like that.
I am playing as Ambush, who is a ex-Venom agent who has switched teams after he discovered his betrayal from the bad team, aka Venom. And he knows how Venom operates. He is going to be at the servants' entrance, double checking that everyone is supposed to be a caterer, that everyone is supposed to be a janitor, that they don't have tuxes hidden under their uniforms. And he is just doing everything he can to look intimidating and scary for the hired help.
I am playing Sledge, and right now Sledge is wondering why he's doing guard duty. He's anti-tank infantry. The streets are crowded, but he's got a vantage point so he can see up and down the streets in case heavy artillery starts coming in from Venom, which doesn't make sense, but he's ready to launch what he can to take out their tanks.
And Sledge is suddenly surprised when various pieces of Venom mechanized artillery start rolling out of nearby parking garages, exploding through the roofs that aren't quite high enough for them to pass through. And you've got a set of Komodo armored personnel carriers and one Hydra tank rolling down the street towards the governor's ball. Meanwhile, inside, Ambush damns his luck because suddenly all of the caterers at all those carving stations um, snap their knives out and they turn into full-length swords. They rip off their uniforms in one glorious move and reveal themselves as part of his former team. Yeah, I can't bring up my thing.
Those katanas are new since I was with him.
Yeah, the Venom Shadow Fangs. All right. Meanwhile, the young lady that General Steele has been dancing with suddenly changes in appearance. Her hair suddenly lengthens and turns blonde. She whips off the glasses, and reveals herself to be one of Venom's top operatives, the Viperess, and says, "Good to see you again, General." He feels a tap of cold steel on his neck as Toxin, master of the Shadow Fangs, places a blade to his neck and says, "May I cut in?" But meanwhile, the rest of you are suddenly all too busy with Venom soldiers paratrooping out of the sky and tanks coming up the streets and Shadow Fangs rushing to avenge themselves against their former compatriot Ambush. So we're going to do a quick encounter. All right. Um, Spoiler, General Steele gets abducted, and you're not going to be able to stop that from happening. But in the meanwhile, a quick encounter is a combat option in Savage Worlds where we don't go through all of the same rigmarole in detail as usual. Instead, everybody just describes what they're doing, makes a roll on the effective trait, and then unless you really screw up on the roll, you're okay. But there is always that possibility of really screwing up. So we're not going to draw action cards for this, so whoever wants to go first can go first.
I went last time.
I believe that, yeah, Ambush is going to rush his former comrades and try to keep them focused on him and not going after the president or any of the other people in the crowd. And he wants to keep their attention, so he's going to happily let himself be outnumbered so he can have them all focused on him.
Sounds good.
And I am going to do a fighting for my quick action, and would Frenzy count for this since it's a fighting roll?
Well, it's an abstracted roll, so you don't really need to make the extra include the extra dice for frenzy. But what we'll say is that for every success and raise you get, you take out one of the Shadow Fangs.
Well, that's why I was hoping that I could use Frenzy, try to up my odds. Frenzy gives me an extra die. That's a success. I'm Carnage Core, which means I only have 2 bennies. So I got a success, and I will stick with that.
All right, sounds good for now. You Ambush does find himself a bit overwhelmed, but he manages to bring down one Shadow Fang as he leads the others further away from all of the VIPs. Who's next?
I'll go next. So Sledge, when he starts hearing all this mechanized and heavy mechanical equipment coming down the street, rolls around from behind a car, shouts out, "You guys want to party? Fine, you can play with Wolverine." And I'm going to fire off my Wolverine multi-missile launcher.
Awesome.
I guess I can rate of fire is 3, so I can launch all 3 at once, correct?
But again, it's an abstracted
Okay.
thing right now, so
Yeah.
you don't need to worry about that. Just make a roll, and again, for every success and raise, we'll say you take out one of the Komodo APCs. Or if you want to target the Hydra tank instead, it would only be that because that thing's super tough.
I'll target the Hydra tank. That seems like it could be the most dangerous.
Sounds good. You would definitely do the most damage.
Yes, they are dangerous. As someone who worked on statting them, they are dangerous.
They are absurd.
So that'll be shooting. Looking, I think that is just going to be. Sorry, guys, trying to figure out new things.
Now, you should have some focuses and or masteries that would also assist with this.
Right, the masteries would be. And I stuck those somewhere. Where did I stick them? Sorry, I thought I was better prepared. Mastery anti-tank weapons and artillery and vehicle-mounted weapons. So I'm not sure that the missile launcher is considered anti-tank, is it?
It most certainly is.
Okay, cool. And then artillery wouldn't be. Artillery would be like if I was firing a tank weapon, correct?
Yeah, that would be if you were firing a mortar or something of that sort.
All right. So let's see, in roll, I'm gonna do roll 1d10 plus 2. Ugh. I'm going to spend a penny to redo that. I guess I don't want to party.
Are you not getting at least a 4, even with a +2?
Even with the plus 2, I got a 7 and a 6 total.
All you need is a 4 for a range attack.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Then I'll go with the first roll. That's a 7.
Okay. You always use the better of your rolls anyway.
Right.
Okay, so the Hydra goes up in flames as it explodes and shatters steel everywhere. Who is next?
I'll go ahead and go, since I'm also outside. Seeing the paratroopers coming down, I'm gonna be like, "Well, that was a mistake," and I'm gonna basically call out over the radio. I'm like, "Weapons free, weapons free. We have incoming." And I am going to just toss back the tarp, pull out my Scar assault rifle, and just start, shooting up there at them using. I know that I have, you know, marksman. I have a specialization. Uh, all those things. I obviously can't use sniper and aim for a full round. I'm just going to go ahead and unload on them, but full auto. And I know, just making a roll. So there we go. Should be, I think, with all the everything added up, it's like a D12 plus 3.
Sounds right to me.
They made a mistake.
Yep.
They allowed for that carnival duck dame to come down.
How were you at Duck Hunt?
We're gonna find out. But if I do it as a single roll right now, just for the fun of it, that is grand total of a 12.
Ooh, so you take out 3 targets then. All right. So,
Wait, I didn't go yet.
oh no, I'm just describing what happens with hollow points attack. So you open fire and hit 3 of the troopers as they come within range. They shatter into pieces, and bits of them clatter onto the nearby roofs.
Can I call that out, or do I
Absolutely.
need to wait? Like, they're
Yeah.
falling apart when I shoot them.
One of them lands near you and just topples over. It's a mannequin in fake plastic armor.
Okay. Yeah, they're fake.
That
Stretcher,
was
what's
not a
going on?
mistake.
Stretcher, what's going on inside the hall?
A lot of carnage is happening, which is why Stretcher is running around trying to make sure that the troops that we have are staying up. So she's running around making healing things and keeping the good guys going.
Well, in addition to all of the you codename operatives on the ground there's a bunch of just commandos who've been stationed nearby. They unfortunately are getting quickly overwhelmed by those members of the Shadow Fangs who are not busy chasing ambush around the hall. So yeah, you've got some bloody sword wounds to take care of.
Yeah, and with all of the crazy high level bonuses that come with this, I'm looking at a D12 with a D10 wild die at a +6.
Stretcher's good at what she do. When
Yeah.
she doesn't crit fail? Oh, that was an ace. Never mind.
So that's a 28.
Yeah, all right. So as fast as people fall, you are patching them back together, um, getting them back into the fight. Meanwhile, huddled together in the middle of the ballroom are Viperous, General Steel, and Toxin. Toxin takes his sword and slashes downward in a circle around all three of them, cutting the floor out from beneath them, and they fall into the subterranean sections of the building. Hardcore rushes over and throws himself down the hole, but they've vanished. Meanwhile, outside, it quickly becomes evident that this attack is, in fact, just a ruse. While the armor vehicles are manned, the actual paratroopers coming in are not human at all. And soon you find yourselves just desperately searching the area for General Steel, but there is no sign. Um, Everyone retreats back to Freedom Bastion to regroup and decide on their next moves.
I would like to specify, I'd like to take the one down Shadow Fang that I know I dropped back with us for interrogation.
That sounds good. Okay, and because I'm pulling that, oh, you couldn't stop the abduction thing on you, everybody gets a Benny.
That's good. I'm gonna need them.
Yeah, I know. You Carnage Core types.
It's the best.
No, the best is being a super soldier with a mountain lion.
That is right. I will never have a mountain lion.
Okay. Back at Freedom Bastion, everyone is outraged, demanding that some action be taken. Uh, you see Corporal Carnage himself like shatter a wall into pieces when he just punches it out of frustration. Uh, Mirage, Hardcore, Top Boss, basically the three top officers under General Steel, all just vanish into a briefing room to hash things out together. All the vehicles are getting prepared for launch, fueling up, and things like that. And then you get a summons, and the four of you go to a nearby briefing room where Hardcore is waiting. This is too much. This offends the very soul. We are going on the offensive. We are taking the fight back to Venom. And I have a special mission for the four of you. The Shadow Fang that we interrogated has identified that there are 4 locations where they might have taken General Steel. While we organize an operation to disrupt Venom's means of communications, they have an undersea network called Jormungandr that connects outside of typical internet and telecommunications guidelines. While we shut that down, the 4 of you are going to hit these 4 bases and smash them to pieces until we find General Steel. If you find that you need to call on any other mission specialists during the fight, do so. But you are going to wreck things up. We have identified 4 locations. There's a forest compound in the Black Forest of Germany. There is a mountain temple high in the Andes. There's an Arctic fortress in the north of Siberia. And there's a jungle base in the jungles of Vietnam. Figure out your plan, determine which one you want to hit first, and we will move on from there. And so, do we have things up so that we can see the
Yeah,
already
I'll kind of
prepared cards?
changed over here really quick.
Okay.
There we go.
Sean, I would like to make a request that we have
Yes,
chauffeur assigned to the team to help us get from location to location.
that sounds good. Okay.
All right.
As people who have tuned into this before know, and those who have played Freedom Squadron in the past also know, plans and operations is kind of like quick encounters, but it's a bit broader in scope. Um, it was inspired kind of more or less by uh, the way the miniseries of that certain 80s cartoon starring another military action team went, where there would be a MacGuffin that they chased around the entire world, and each episode would take them to a different place in the world where there'd be some sort of crazy adventure, and the piece of the MacGuffin would be captured or lost. Um, with plans and operations, each card represents a specific challenge that must be overcome by one or more members of the mission team. Those cards give you a set of skills that you can use, but it's really up to the player to just describe how they're implementing that skill. It's a give and take with the game master where you get an opportunity to just kind of expand on the story. Chance for everybody to come up with some descriptions and some crazy ideas and throw things in. Um, It is possible for more than one person to participate on a card each round, but you can only participate on one card. So you could have like two people team up, and then two other people handle two other cards, that sort of thing. All right. And
You did not make this easy for us.
no,
That first
because
row sucks.
because you are really powerful dudes.
With the
Now,
28 healing, yeah.
yeah. Now, there are different options to gain more bennies as we're moving through this. We want to emphasize that doing plans and operations is as much of a role-playing exercise as it is just dice rolling. It's a chance to get into character as much as anything else. So during the plans and operations, you can gain bonus bennies by coming up with a plan that maximizes the success of the team, invoking a hindrance against yourself for a penalty on your die roll, or using different skills, not necessarily the same optimal skill every time that you make a roll. Um, Particularly choosing a suboptimal skill can give you a Benny. Now that Benny is going to come to you after you've made your roll, after you've succeeded or failed on the challenge, but you'll have it going forward. Okay, does anybody have any questions?
None here.
Sean, why are none of these specialized for healing? Oh wait, there is one. Okay.
So looking at these, I'm thinking the tactical is probably going to be best with Hollow Point with her D12 in shooting. Because that one's at a -4 and it's an opposed roll against the enemy leadership.
Which one is that on the row?
Bottom right corner, the tactical disaster.
Okay, so we're starting at the bottom and working up.
Yep.
Sorry about
Correct.
that. I thought it
Yes.
was the other way around. My bad.
I wrote a supplement for swag that was kind of my own spin on plans and operations before I got the Freedom Squadron assignment. It's called the Scheme Pyramid, and it just goes in the opposite direction. Yeah, so it's a pyramid going from bottom to top. From widest to most narrow. With plans and operations, you go from narrowest to widest.
And this round, I'm going to do better to support. I don't really have a skill that directly works on these cards, so I'll help on that tactical if you'd like.
I think I can go with the covert because if I go with notice, then I'm going to get a bonus to the roll.
What are you rolling for that notice?
A 10.
Okay. Then yeah, I can go with the interaction. I have intimidation, so I can do that. It's only at a D8, but I can do it.
Yeah, it would definitely be best for Stretcher to assist somebody as support on one of them, definitely.
Sounds good to me.
All right. So, which location are you tackling first, and what is your plan?
Do we want to start with the Black Forest?
Yeah,
And castles.
Absolutely.
works for me.
Now,
Go ahead, John.
I was going to ask, so question on all this. Will my edges, such as zone specialists, add into this?
Yes. Yes, it will.
Oh boy.
So we
So
could start. Oh,
I was gonna say, would you like to start with the snowy one in that situation, so you have your bonuses for the worst row?
But maybe every single location is in one of the many zones that Hollow Point is actually a zone specialist in.
Yeah, I was looking at that as he was reading it off. I was like, hmm.
hold on a sec.
I'm not totally evil.
Just somewhat.
But yeah.
Yeah, just some.
So if we're in the forest, I would say that I am somewhere coming up on the base, slowly stealthing and creeping up, getting my rifle ready, and taking a moment to aim and take down some guards to get us in using shooting.
Sounds good.
All right. So in this case, with my zone specialist as on top of everything else, I should be rolling a d12 plus 5.
So let me support you first, because technically I'm supposed to go before you, so you get the bonus.
All right.
Do we get any bonuses from your zone specialist? Does that help us out in any way?
Yes, you do. Actually, everybody, my allies, you're getting a +1 with your trait checks and a +2 with resistance, if it comes to that, resisting the elements while we're here.
So right now I'm looking at using logistics. I'm going to look into the history of the area um, to look at the maps and figure out where we are, where the locations we might need to hit. Um, I'm trying to use my focus, but I don't think I'm doing a good job of that. Right now I'm looking at a d6 with a d6 wild die.
Now, we have a penalty on this one.
Yes, you have a -4, right? Well, I do as well because I'm also rolling on that. So I'm going to spend a Benny and re-roll that.
Yeah, so I got a 7 with the current roll, but that's before my +5. So I would have put it at a 12. That brings it back down to an 8. Uh, so I'm thinking I'm gonna go ahead and
Well,
probably spend a Benny as well. Or what do y'all think?
let's see what sort of bonus Stretcher gives you first.
None is that answer. I don't got nothing for you.
So yeah, let's go ahead and re-roll that, just because. Worth it. That is a 12 before the bonus, so that puts me at 17.
Okay, that is awesome. And it was the tactical disaster, right? Okay. All right. So, sneaking through the forest, approaching the supposedly long abandoned castle that they have seized and turned into a base, but with the netting overhead to obscure it and things like that. Hollow Point finds herself in a deadly game of cat and mouse with Jackknife, one of the major Venom lieutenants, and a master of even more zones of combat than Hollow Point herself. Um, Back and forth they go, shooting at each other from cover of the trees until finally she beats his 9 and drops a tree branch on top of his head with a carefully aimed shot that just snaps it right off and it falls on top of him. All right, who's next?
I guess I'll go next with the covert. So Sledge will find a vantage point since most of his attacks are going to be ranged and start kind of playing Overwatch to see if he can notice any like sniper nests or anything that would impede us from gaining access to the castle to take it down.
Sounds good. Go for it, man.
I may actually have one better for you, Sean.
Okay.
If you're up for it. So mine is an interaction, and I'm going to be using intimidation. And I have a specialty. Specifically, I have a mastery in Venom standard operating procedures,
Mm-hmm.
and we know the guards have been getting sniped at. So I think I should Han Solo and Chewbacca this with you, and I should bring you into the castle as a shadow feign. And when they try to stop us, I intimidate them and be like, "Oh, this is the guy that's shooting us." We get you in, and then you snake around placing demolition charges, and we blow the place up.
Okay, I don't necessarily. So what skill do I don't have anything demolition related.
That'd still be your notice, and that'd be looking for weak points around the castle where we
Okay,
could maybe place the explosives.
perfect.
Does
So do
that
you
work
want
for
to?
you, Sean?
That works for me. I think that sounds good.
So then you go first with your interaction, and then I'll go for the covert.
I think that'll do it. All right, so my intimidation is a D8. I have a +2 mastery for Venom operational procedures. So yeah, I'm going to pretend to bind Sledge up, uh, have my Shadow Fang armor, and walk him up to the castle. People try to stop us, and I'm going to just kind of bluster my way through and like, well, this is a guy sniping. I got to take him to the bosses. And I did, after the +2 -2, it did end up being a 4, so it is a single success.
So you're stopped briefly. The Black Forest base is being guarded by constrictors who are masters of guerrilla warfare. But frankly, they don't have the prestige of Shadow Fangs. So the first guy who stops you says, "Where do you think you're going?" And then somebody taps him on the shoulder and says, "Oh man, no, don't mess with that guy. He's a Shadow Fang.
Just
Back
glaring.
off." Yeah. And you all get inside.
So after we get past everything, I'll start looking for the weak points that we can set the charges. And with my bonus of +2, that's a 10.
Very nice.
Okay, so that gives us 4 successes on this round, if I'm counting things right. 1 success over the opposed roll, 1 success for Ted, and 2 successes just now. Okay.
I
All
hate
right.
to be that narc, but the covert is a snafu. It's an opposed roll as well.
Oh. Okay, so it's just the 1 then. All right. Well, that's okay. That still passes. Which is all you need for the moment. Okay. Um. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. No, yeah, you're right. It's a opposed roll. I should be rolling opposition here. You had what, a 10? Yeah, I've got
Yes.
a 6. So yeah, it's a success.
Cool.
Okay. All right. So
6 is still a success with a raise.
no, it'd just be 1 success.
We couldn't hear you there a second.
Oh, it's still a raise by 4. 6 versus 10.
Oh yeah. No, you're right. Okay. Yeah. No. Cool. All
Sorry,
right.
I'll shut up. I'll stop being the rules lawyer.
But it's good for that. No, it is good. You guys want more successes, so that is perfect. Yeah. No, I just
Yes,
lost my
we
mind for a
do.
moment there.
Okay, so I'm at 0 successes now.
No, you have a success in a
Just the one.
race. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. So we are good. So we are still coming out of this round with a total of 4 successes. Let's see. So uh, Jackknife was already taken out. He's the one most associated with the constrictors and with forest type environments. We'll say then that monitoring the entire situation from a station within the castle is Mayhem, master of psychological warfare. And he's using his bug eyed mask with its multiple view cameras to keep an eye on everything at once. But despite all of that, yes, Sledge is able to sneak through, discovering that no, General Steele is not here. But also finding perfect places to set up some charges to bring the whole place down as you depart. Okay. Um, as everything explodes behind you and you walk away without looking back, chauffeur, um, one of the best pilots in all of Freedom Squadron, comes zipping in on a Hornet, landing in a clearing made by all the trees that have been flattened by the explosion. And she pops open the doors and says, "Where to next?"
Oh, we
Okay,
took
what
out.
pluses do we still need to hit?
We still have the Arctic, the Alps, was it?
Yep.
And then Antarctica.
Okay, so yeah, there's the mountain temple in the Andes, there's the Arctic station in Siberia, and then there's a jungle station in Vietnam.
Well, should we hit Vietnam since we're relatively close to the Black Forest?
Let's get all the forests out of the way. Jungle, forest. Yeah,
Jungle.
yeah.
All right. So
And so we're looking at a tactical jackpot where you will actually get a +2 for once. Um, a major issue interaction where we'll be at -4, but it's not against enemy leadership. Uh, technical bit of luck where you'll get another +2. The jackpot also, if you succeed on that one, can grant you some extra bonuses. And then a covert major issue at -4, but not against enemy leadership. And only you can only act on one card. So either all 4 of you are going to need to be on one card each, or you're going to need to summon some mission specialists to assist.
I can take pretty much any of those except maybe the technic. Actually, no, I can take any of those. So I can fill in whatever role is needed.
Yeah, Ambush is a
Mhm.
good all-around character. He's got a nice spread of skills throughout everything.
Where Stretcher is pretty narrowly focused, so I'm going to go for that. Really wants it.
Oh, which one?
I'm gonna go for the technical.
Okay. I'm
Go for the one that has
still I,
healing.
I'm still gonna go for the one that's tactical. You know me.
All right, Sledge, would you like the interaction or would you like the covert?
Ugh. Um. Ugh. Those are no bueno. Uh. Ugh. Covert. I think I can because I'll get the +2 on that for the notice. Also, could try stealthing, but I don't get any bonuses to that.
Now, if we didn't have the skill that worked, yeah, we can still attempt the thing, but we have to describe it. Is there any penalty doing that or anything?
Now you have to attempt it with one of the skills that the
Oh, we
challenge is
do.
for.
Okay.
Yes. Anybody who's doing support can use any other skill, but your but the person leading on the card has to use one of the skills for that suit.
So, using a little bit of my freelance writer knowledge here, Shawn, Iron, as used as a mission specialist operative, specifically says if no one has something that lets them replace plans and operations cards, you can use him to replace a plans and operations card.
Dude, this is all set up on his grid.
I won't do that then.
I could actually go ahead and switch over and do the covert using stealth, and because of my bonus for the zone specialist, as well as I think I have another bonus to stealth. Yeah, I have woodsman in this environment. Why not go ahead and I'll do the stealth. I'll do the covert for this one.
Right, then I could swing to tactical and do shooting and lay down some cover fire distractions, because then I'll get the +2 to shooting. Now, does the heavy weapons mastery come into play for that? Would I get to do the 10 +2?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Now, Ted, using your freelance writer knowledge for good, is there anyone we can call in to help with that?
I don't know if we're allowed to call people in every single round, or if we only get it like once per plans and operations, in which case we should save it for the next row when we definitely need help.
Shawn?
You, yeah, actually, I'm suddenly finding myself wondering about that too. Technically, I don't think there's anything to stop you from doing more than one mission specialist per mission. So, but they can only participate in like the one card.
So we might want someone to help with that -4 we got floating around.
I'm trying to think of someone that can help with an interaction. Maybe Detox. She was Toxin's protege. She can help with interactions, right? If I remember right, covert and interaction.
That is probably true. I'm thinking for interaction, actually, the most useful person would be
One of the media people.
yeah, what the person who's on that card, snapshot. Yeah, who is who is a journalist who is well respected worldwide. And let's see here. She speaks a wide variety of languages. Vietnamese is admittedly not one of them. And is attractive and charismatic and um, has a focus in etiquette as well that would be applicable.
And free reroll on persuasion, I think.
It's actually on logistics, but no, well, no, because charismatic gives you the free reroll. Yeah, so.
Yeah, that sounds
Or
like a great help.
Well, in that case, I say let her take the interaction then, and I can go assist Hollow Point with the covert.
okay. All right. So, what's the plan? What card do you want to tackle first, then?
Well, do we
I
want to
would like to go last. Someone get hurt, please.
Well, do you want Sledge to start the distraction and also just start laying down fire into the base's motor pool? That should cause a nice little distraction to help everybody infiltrate a little bit better. Yes, no, are we good with that?
Sounds like a plan to me.
Do it, yeah.
Works for me.
So I'm rolling a d10. I get +2 for my mastery with my heavy weapons and anti-tank stuff, and then I get another +2. So that's 8, 12. So 4 successes.
3. But yeah, And that was the tactical one. Jackpot? Okay.
Yep.
Did you add it again? You added in the +2 for that?
Yep.
Okay.
That pushed it into the 12.
Nice.
All right. So that means that you also get your choice of either gaining a tactical contact or a new tactical focus or a +1 w- a focus which could also be added to an existing focus to bump it up to a mastery in a tactical related field. A contact is somebody is an NPC that you meet and befriend and can add a die roll to it can act as support for cards of that sort. Given how difficult the next round of things is, that's what I would recommend more than anything else.
The contact. Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
Any idea who this new contact could be?
Um, let's see.
Were you
Make someone
attempting to
up, or
attack
does
that?
he we have?
Yeah, just make somebody up here. Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, if we're gonna, then we'll pull in the character we had in the last game, Glitch. He was a electronics expertise, security systems. He could help us bypass a security system in the next tier.
Well, he has to be a tactical contact, so he's gonna have
Tactical.
one of those skills that is listed there for tactical. Keeping in mind that the skill list is slightly out of date because that was made for the previous edition of Savage Worlds.
Right.
Well,
Um,
obviously we need to call in Sir Honkers then.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Well,
Oh,
it could call Wally.
And
uh,
unfortunately for that top row, it's all cut off, so I can't tell which one is tactical.
Oh, don't worry. I have plans on who we can call in for that top row.
all right. So a tactical contact, maybe. So Vietnam is currently under the control of China, which seized it during World War III. China began World War III as an ally to the neo-communist bloc, who are all basically backed by Venom, and so there's still a Venom influence, which is why they've got the base there in Vietnam at this time. Maybe what you have discovered is sneaking through the jungle is a renegade Vietnamese military officer who greatly resents Venom's presence in his country and China's occupation. Um, and that person assists you in finding the right way to approach this and continues to accompany you on this mission. All right. Does anybody have any ideas on names, gender, anything like that?
I'll be honest, Vietnamese names is not my specialty.
I think Bo Fan would actually work.
Works for me.
Yeah. Phan. So, okay. Let me make a note here about Bo Fan with the little mark over the name. And D8 tactical. Okay. Next.
I
you want to
think
go ahead?
Corporal Carnage. Oh, right. Next up. Sorry. How would you like to sneak in there, Hollow Point, since we're doing covert?
Oh, well, I'm going in, and
Actually, did we make a roll on that, or did we? Yeah, we did. What was your roll again? I forget. It was 12, right?
Mine, yes, it was 12.
Okay, yeah. So that's 3 successes there. Cool. Awesome.
And covertly as you can while missiles are raining down into their motor pool.
There's a great distraction going on.
Yeah, people are looking everywhere else. They're looking for the missiles.
all right. But for us stealthing in, my thought is, of course, ghillie suits, and coming up into the base to, because this is also a covert thing. I think we're going to be sneaking in and maybe shutting off their security system or something like that for the rest of that mission.
Makes sense. Standard operating procedure is that they're going to be on routine patrol shifts of this time, this many groups, this length, and that is an 11, so that's going to add a +2 to support your stealth.
All right. So for me, stealth is D8. And I should be adding +4 based on my rank usually, but that's a -4 for the bone for what's going on with the card, right? And then a 2 from you, right, Ted?
Yep.
All right, so rolling that D8.
Yeah, and you're taking into account also your zone specialist thing, right?
Yeah, the zone specialist plus the woodsman was how I was getting my stealth up that high.
Okay,
So
awesome.
yeah,
Oh, and is everybody else taking into account the fact that you get a +1 on all of your trait rolls for the fact that you've got a zone specialist for every zone you're visiting?
Well, in that case, I rolled a 12, not an 11, which means you have a +3 from me.
Awesome.
oh well, there we go. Because I rolled a 2, so that puts me at a 5 then with your bonus. So thank you.
Okay, yeah. So the pair of you sneak past the guards, scattering everywhere, and most of the personnel on base here are just normal Venom troopers in their yellow uniforms. You do notice that there's a contingent of Shadow Fangs lurking around as well. Um, Led by a woman who does not wear a conventional Shadow Fang uniform, but instead wears much more traditional ninja gear, colored red. This is Red Talon, second in command of the Shadow Fangs, and would be first in command of the Shadow Fangs.
Where's Wally and Catamount when you need him?
So, as hell rains down on them, you manage to infiltrate the base. Who is next?
I think I'm last, aren't I?
Well, we still
Uh,
have the roll for the interaction one.
yeah, I think we can use that for snapshot getting us out of Vietnam.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I can take care of the technical then. Okay, so we know that there is a Vietnamese counterforce against Venom. I'm gonna say there's some prisoners that have been taken in the fortress itself. Um, let's get them healed up, moving, and helping us. God, so many numbers. One sec. All right.
It's a good problem to have.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna re-roll that just to see if I can get a little higher. I got a 12. No, it's with all the pluses and everything. Wait. Oh, it doesn't. No. Okay. Then it's. I'm gonna try a little higher.
All the
Okay, if you
numbers.
want to.
Okay, so I rolled a 15. So that means that I've got +6, +2, +1. Lots. I got lots.
I think that puts her at 24 again.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I really just need to make an equation for this.
But I'm trying to figure out the system. So at 24, that's 5 successes.
That would be 6.
Yep.
People get hurt more. Make
And
my
since
job
this
easy.
since this isn't an opposed roll this time or anything like that, then yeah, that's yeah,
Ouch, I tripped.
okay.
Oh no, I sprained an ankle.
Let me put a band-aid on that for you.
I have a blister on my trigger finger from shooting so many missiles.
Ah, ointment.
Okay. So yeah, you free practically a whole platoon of Vietnamese combatants who eagerly join in helping you sweep the rest of the dungeon complex and then fighting your way back out, leaving uh, it all in ruins, but with Chinese authorities and suspiciously venom looking operatives uh, on your tails, trying to prevent you from getting out of the country. Okay,
I'm reading through that.
so Snapshot, your mission specialist, is going to have um, persuasion D10, and she gets a +1 for her focus in etiquette, and +1 for attractive, and she's actually famous too, so that's also another +1. So she's going in with a D10 +3.
Did she get the +1 for hollow points?
Oh yeah,
Character.
that's true because that's still applicable here. So D10 +4 and an automatic reroll on her persuasion roll because she's got charismatic. Um,
And
it
that
would be
cancels out the -4. Hooray!
yeah. All right. So who wants to roll for her?
I'll do it. What are we rolling?
D10, and because the she's got the -4, it's canceled out all of her bonuses, so just straight D10.
So that's a 5. Does she have bennies?
She can do an automatic reroll. You can just go ahead and roll it again to see if you get higher without having to spend any bennies.
That's a 2. People get hurt more.
So you'd want to stick with the 5 then, but that's a success. So, all right. So we are good there. You really blew that up there, but yeah, General Steel is in another fortress. All right. Um, which one do you want to tackle next?
Do we want the final confrontation to be mountainous, or do we want the flat expanse of the Arctic?
I don't know which one is more cinematic. I mean, I'm kind of like the mountain will be great for that.
I think the mountain sounds cooler. I agree with the cinematics of that.
Yeah, then let's tackle the Arctic then.
And that's technically closer anyway, since it's just like up the continent. Well,
Yeah.
up the continent.
Hey, Aaron, you got a buddy
Yay, thank you.
from chat. If that's okay, just checking
Oh,
in really
thank you,
quick. Sean, is that
chat.
all right?
That's perfectly fine. I see no problems with that whatsoever.
That's good because I'm burning through them this time.
Okay. Actually, and come to think of that, because of those massive successes, there would actually be an option here if things normally to draw some replacement cards. And because we set things up ahead of time with just a display of all the cards that's kind of fixed, everybody take another Benny.
Nice.
Woo woo!
Up to 4.
I'm going to need it because I'm just going to guess I can go on that snafu at the left side.
Sean, for one of those tacticals, can we let Corporal Carnage out to play?
If you insist on Corporal Carnage, yes.
Yes.
Fine.
So like I said, the screen for me is cut off. I can't see the top row of the cards to see
All right.
which one is tactical.
So I believe the pictures also match the style. So the two explosions should
Okay.
be also tactical.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Have such horrible luck with those random gifts.
I tell you, I wish you could actually select people in chat and do it. Twitch needs to work on that, in my opinion. But that's just me.
They implemented that on the PC. I've just been gifting via the phone, so it's anonymous. Or so it's random.
Okay, there we go.
So I would be good with either tactical because I'll have the +8 because of last round.
You'll have the friend roll in a D8 to support you.
Right. So I can do either tactical. I can do the ±4.
I feel like we might want Carnage
On that
on
one.
the disaster. That's my gut feeling, knowing nothing about the stats.
No, that sounds right. It seems like he would be better with that. And then I'll just take the snafu.
I can also do the disaster, or I can do one of the tactical.
So I propose we have Stretcher deal with the technical snafu. I have a D10 for stealth for the covert. I also have I have a bonus. I have a D8 tradecraft with some bonuses from edges, so I can take care of the covert disaster if someone else can handle that jackpot interaction.
How many people can we call in? Because right now it sounds like everyone's on a card. We got people on the tacticals, the covert, and the technical, but we don't have another person.
If someone can take the covert, then I can also do the interaction. Ambush is good for covering whatever gaps there are.
Well, if we want to leverage the bonus of our tactical person, then yeah, I'm gonna do the snafu. I mean, I could do the covert, but we're gonna lose the advantage of the. Or can he just help anybody that's gonna take that tactical?
Technically, he could help anybody who would be on tactical.
So I'm open for either or. I can do it either way. So I'll be rolling a D10 for stealth. It'll be -4, but then -3 because we'll have hollow points bonus.
In that case, yeah, I can handle the interaction then with my intimidation. I have no issue with that.
Okay, I think that has us divvied up, yeah?
And then, John, you'll be taking the snafu
Yeah,
tactical?
absolutely.
Okay.
I'll do that one.
So you'll have the support of Bofon for that tactical. So he'll roll a d8 for whatever you need support with.
Alrighty, let's get rolling.
Okay, so how are you approaching this Siberian Arctic base?
Well, of course, everyone's gotten frostbite, so I need to help everybody.
So trudging overland.
Yes, so that everyone has frostbite so I can heal them.
Okay.
Sorry, Shawn.
No, that works. It's a way to approach things. That works for me.
All right, I think that's an 18.
You think it's an 18. Okay.
So I rolled a 7, and then it's +6. 6 plus 7 is, God, I'm so bad with this. 13, so 14.
All right. So that's 3 successes. Yeah, as the only way to approach this base that sits alone on a vast stretch of Siberian tundra is to sneak overland because anything coming from the skies is just going to be spotted against the vast blueness of the horizon. Yeah, it's bitterly cold, and everyone begins to suffer from it. But thankfully, yes, you've got Stretcher there to take care of any frostbite that threatens fingers and toes or noses. All right. And we're good to go. What next?
Since I'm doing the stealth, then I think once we get towards the base, Sledge will find a spot where I can observe things, and I'm going to basically play Overwatch and point out any patrols or anything coming towards the rest of our squad trying to infiltrate the base.
Sounds good. Okay. So the base is guarded by Arctic Wolf specialists um, and their boss, Spectre Wolf. And so they are making patrols around both on foot and in some of the Venom Arctic vehicles that suddenly escaped my mind. But yeah. Um, okay.
They have
Yeah.
some ice badgers. They
Yeah.
have
Ice
some.
badgers and ice bursters. That's what we've got. Yeah.
So this is going to be a -4 for me. So with my +2 to notice and then hollow points bonus, that's only going to be a -1.
And it is
Yeah,
again against the opposition die.
yeah.
You get to
That's a
go against Evil Danny DeVito.
that's a 3. I'm going to reroll, spend a Benny, and that's a 10. So that's 9.
Okay.
Wait, does that blow up? Do I get to roll again?
What'd you roll?
A 10.
Okay, on your 10-sided die?
Yeah.
Okay, then yes, that explodes. Yeah. Roll again, man.
So that's going to be I rolled a 3. So with the -1, that's a 12.
Well, that makes it 3-6. That is and I rolled an 8, so it's one success as an opposed roll, but well, it's a success and a raise, so it's 2. All right. So yeah, Spectre Wolf is unfortunately far too distracted by attempt. That is Spectre Wolf. Yes, Evil Danny DeVito. Part of the reason for the base is that he's searching for uh, the remains of pre-human civilizations, and of course, this is the tundra, so there's lots of buried stuff everywhere. They've dug up some smilodons and mastodons already. Um, no signs of snake people at this point, though. But he's too busy working on that to notice the approach, and you are able to guide everybody through the gaps in their security.
Yeah, just constantly on the comms, directing Hollow Point and everybody else, making sure that I drew a blank on our medic's name. Erin, what's your character's name?
Stretcher.
Stretcher.
Making sure that Stretcher keeps the coffee hot because we're gonna need that as we're trying to leave here. Important things.
Can I ask that Corporal Carnage goes next?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So I'm not going to roll for him, but I think obviously what he does here is he powers up his power gloves, walks up to the front door, and punches it open. Um, he has a
A lot.
fighting D12. Yeah.
There's a reason
uh,
why he's so cool.
yeah. Let's see here. +2 for Martial Warrior. Bruiser goes into all that. And, okay. And the power, so it's die 12 +2.
All right. Do you think he would like Neapolitan or bubblegum?
Bubblegum.
because I dropped my my regular D12. So he has. This is at a -4 +2, so -2. Wow, he rolled a 5. This is opposed, right?
Yeah, which one was he doing? It was the
The
The other
tactical disaster.
okay, yeah, tactical disaster. All right. So
Can I spend one of my bennies for him?
yes, you can.
There we go. That's better. That is an 11 -2. That's a 9. So still not amazing, but
But it squeaks by because I rolled an 8. So it is an incredibly tough door, but yeah, he just smashes it open with a few repeated punches, and everybody gets to just rush in and start shooting. All right, who's next?
I can go for that tactical snafu.
Sounds good.
All right, so technically I could use shooting or survival, but I think I'm gonna be, I'm up against says, I think I'm up against the enemy leadership on a opposition, so I'm gonna call out specs and you know let's have a little duel away from the base, and my goal is get him out there looking through his rifle at me, uh, and keep him where he's having to, try and sight me in using the sun and give him a little bit of snow blindness. So yeah,
Well,
I'll be
you're gonna
survival.
get you're gonna get Beaufon's help. So what do you want Beaufon to do to help you? Do you want him to play target while you're sneaking around?
Yeah, sure, sure. I mean, either that or distracting him whenever he thinks he's got the upper hand.
Okay.
Use Buffon to kind of help me out a little bit.
So do we need to come up with a skill for him, or are we just run the straight D8 for that?
Just the straight D8 for him.
That's a 4.
Well, that's a +1. That's good.
All right. So that puts me at rolling a d12 plus 5. And that is an 11. So that is 16.
All right then. So
What's your
another deadly game of cat and mouse as Spectre Wolf and Hollow Point sneak through the largely flat tundra there, hiding behind what few snowdrifts there are, or diving into the holes left by the excavations that Venom is conducting. And and I rolled a 2.
I was about to
So
say, I don't know if that's a good laugh or a bad laugh.
That was a 16? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Uh, so that would be 3 successes after deducting my 2 there. Okay. All right. And I guess we're just left with that interaction then.
so I think the final interaction is trying to get out of the Arctic after we've destroyed and caved in and all the ice has filled in the cavern that has become this base. And I think a block patrol is going to be trying to pull chauffeur's plane over, and I'm going to obviously have to intimidate them and convince them that Venom Commander is aboard, and how dare they try to stop his Hornet that he stole from Freedom Squadron. And I'm just going to convince them to let us go on our merry way because we had nothing to do with that exploded Venom base back there.
That sounds beautiful.
Ignore the smoking ordnance.
That is a 7. Oh,
And
correction. That's an 8 with the +1.
and that was a jackpot, so it's not up against anything this time. So hooray! Okay, that is another 2 successes there. The crackle comes over the radio of the new Soviet bloc, neo communist bloc authorities, as a couple of their jets drop in and begin shadowing you. Where is it that you think you're going? Land immediately.
How dare you try to command Venom Commander? Do you know who it is that you're talking to? It's Venom Commander!
Venom Commander, my apologies. We will escort you out of the airspace immediately.
See that you do!
Of course, sir. Of course.
No, sir. We do not need to shoot them down. I will make sure they humbly apologize to you and for their entire base.
Okay, awesome.
Don't you know who this is? It's them.
And I'll take a focus in pretending people are Venom Commander.
Okay, yeah. We're gonna have to add that to the character sheet. Okay. All right. Okay, so we've succeeded with the plans and operations. You've narrowed things down to the Andes Mountain Temple. I don't know. Do we want to take a brief break before we head on to that? Regroup and
Sure.
prepare. Okay.
Yeah, this sounds like a good
Yeah, we've been
break
going
time.
for about an hour and a
Yeah.
half. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So that said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and transition over to our countdown. That'll give us about 10 minutes. Please be here when we come back, and we are going to start our story up. But yeah, just one moment here, and we'll see y'all soon. And hey, everybody, we are back. This is John with Rook and Rasp, and we are playing Freedom Squadron today, and we are playing Carded Heroes, which are some of the heroes that are kind of like in the book. I guess in other systems, they kind of call them things like their paragons or things like that. But I'm enjoying the heck out of this because I'm getting a chance to play a character that is essentially the stand-in for a character that was a big part of my childhood. So I'm loving it. So that said, we're back. We're attacking Venom. Let's have a good time.
So where we left off was the mission team, composed of Hollow Point, Sledge, Stretcher, and Ambush, had gone on a blitzkrieg across the world where they had eliminated 3 different Venom bases as possible locations where the abducted General Steel might be hiding. Meanwhile, the rest of Freedom Squadron itself is engaged in much more pitched battles and trying to take down some of Venom's infrastructure in order to make it easier to conduct this mission. They have disrupted the Jormungandr, an underwater telecommunications network specific to Venom. And when we had last left the mission team itself, they had just escaped Siberia, um, having persuaded a couple of neo-communist jet fighters that they were in fact accompanying Venom Commander himself. And now they are on their way to the last and ultimate location, the Venom Sky Temple high in the Andes. But before we get back to the team itself, we cut to the Sky Temple. Strange, almost alien looking structure high in the mists, perched on a mountain top precariously. It is ominous. It is venomous. Inside, we pass Toxin, master of the Shadow Fangs, the ninja in charge of Venom security, as he restlessly patrols the temple like a caged panther. Inside a control room, we find the Vipress, um, the beautiful intelligence operative who helped snare General Steele and lure him into their trap. And also Gorgon, the heavily armored master of mechanics, the arms dealer who supplies Venom with all of their best equipment. He is sitting at a multi-screen display, watching everything, stroking his chin, even though he is wearing this big old helmet. And Vipress walks in and says, "My sources in Russian security have confirmed that the Siberian base has been destroyed. Spectre Wolf has been captured. Hmm. They have dealt with him, Red Talon, Jackknife, and more. They are closing in fast, my love. Hmm. That is all part of the plan. Let them come, and we shall see what becomes of them." All right, so how do you want to approach the Sky Temple? Are you going to parachute in, try to fly past security, climb the mountain itself? How do you want to approach things?
Oh, I'm totally down for parachuting.
Parachuting seems efficient.
And I think while the others are distracting with the parachuting, I'm going to be climbing up from the base.
Yeah, I was thinking that that would be probably the stealthier approach, would be climbing up the mountain because, I don't know,
But
anti-aircraft
is it the
guns.
cooler approach?
Yes.
Dun 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 dun.
Well, I mean, you could make it a two-pronged attack then, with half the team approaching from the mountain itself and the other half dropping in. Obviously, the team that's climbing the mountain has to get an earlier start. But yeah, that would be
I
an
like it.
approach. So it sounds to me like we've got a set of athletics rules ahead of ourselves here. Um, okay, let me. Well, actually, we got cards. So I can just bring that up. Okay, so for the team that's making the climb, we're gonna call this. Um,
All the
let's
while
make
they're
it.
climbing.
Yeah, let's make it a 3-round dramatic task. Okay, but you were saying?
Oh no, I was like, all the while they're climbing, I'm reclining in the jet that we're going to jump from. I'm like, are they there yet?
Can we use an auto grapple if we have one? Are those loud?
Yeah, those are allowed.
Stretcher is thinking about the physics of this situation.
So, because the zone specialist isn't with us, that means no +1. But I have a focus in climbing, which means I got a 5.
Okay. So, dramatic task, it's going to be every round we draw a card, and if we draw a club, then there's a complication.
Do I
So,
do I need to roll two?
yeah, you can make a support roll to increase everything for him.
That's a 7.
Okay, so that would be a +1 to your roll there, Ted.
Got a 6. Should have had you
Okay.
do the roll.
hmm And the first card I drew for the first round of it was, in fact, a Joker. So, yeah.
That makes it an 8 then, and that's a success with a raise.
Yeah. Okay. Um, what do you think resulted in that bonus there? What was going good for you as when you started the climb at the base
Well,
of the Andes?
obviously, we started going the hard way, and then
Mhm.
about a quarter of the way up, we discovered a super ancient goat trail. And it's like, oh man, this makes it so much easier. And we're just following along the super ancient goat trail that no one's used. Like,
That is
man,
perfect.
this is going to shave so much time off the climb.
Okay, second card is Queen of Spades, so no bonuses on that one.
Now I rolled a 5.
No bonuses, but with the 5, that puts me at an 8.
Woo!
Actually, +1 for the focus, that's a 9, but still, success with the raise.
Okay.
Man, this goat trail is making things super easy. Do you think we
It
need to be
is.
watching out for tripwires or something?
I'm keeping an eye out, but I don't think they even know that the goat trail's here. Either that, or they expect everybody to parachute in if they're going to attack.
Okay.
Man, so glad we didn't parachute in. We're gonna get there so ahead of schedule now. We might have time to stop and have food.
And the last card is an Eight of Diamonds. So you do not have to encounter any dreaded clubs the entire climb.
I got a 4.
Well, that's good because I rolled a 4, 5, +1 is a 6. So just a single success that time.
Okay, all
I
right.
can't
The
believe
last
this
bit of
goat
the goat trail
trail.
was a little harder.
I
Yeah,
can't
I
believe,
mean,
I
it
can't believe
would
the
have
goat
been.
trail went all the way up.
Oh, and it only approached most of the way. That last little stretch we had to climb, which is why it took us a little bit longer.
Oh, I just thought that was part of the trail.
Still ahead
Yeah.
of schedule though.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, for those. Okay. So one of the things that we did with the revised field manual. Well, okay. Let me take a moment here to hawk my product. Okay. So as hopefully everybody watching this knows, there is a Kickstarter going on right now that relaunches Freedom Squadron for Savage Worlds Adventure Edition, the most recent edition of Savage Worlds, which came out just long enough after Freedom Squadron came out in the first place that we've had to rewrite some things to match the new mechanics. And COVID got in the way and other things, so there's been some delays. But right now we have the Kickstarter going for the Friends Foes manual, which includes the carded characters. So you can use them in your in your game either as NPCs or as backup player characters when the need arises, or if you just want to have fun and play some super legendary characters. There's also some new edges and some new hindrances and some new vehicles. The field manual is a combination of the two previous Freedom Squadron books with new material. Previously, Freedom Squadron was released as the Commandos Manual, the main rule book, and the Plans and Operations Manual, which detailed more about the world and about the system that we were using in the first half of the game to, basically condense an entire um, not a full campaign, but like 4 or 5 sessions worth of gaming into one slam bang one shot. The revised field manual expands a bit on how you can use skills. It's got some revisions to edges, including my single favorite piece of design work I've done ever, the action pet edge, which basically replaces Beastmaster and gives you a real animal companion that is equivalent to having a sidekick or something like that.
This channel got to experience an action pet in our Freedom
Yes,
Squadron stream.
that is true. Which
The
was
time was
hilarious
had
and
by all.
awesome. Action pets rule. But one of the things we did was on in the notes on athletics, where we provided a list of focuses you could have, which focuses are a thing that gives you a +1 bonus. There's also masteries which gives you a +2. But we also expanded on parachuting because that's not in Suede, and we didn't include it in the previous information. And obviously, that's something you really want in a military campaign. So, uh, parachuting is an athletics role. Okay, you get to make 2 rolls to make sure that you don't smash into the ground. If you do a high altitude, high opening uh, drop, 1 roll if you make a high altitude, low opening drop. You're probably going to want to do the high altitude, low opening because that is the best way to get past radar and other detection systems. A successful roll lands you within 2d6 game inches from your intended target. Raise lands you exactly on target. Uh, Failed roll means you become entangled with an obstacle and results in minor damage. And a critical failure means that you collide with the ground at maximum speed. So,
So
You
we'll
go
wave at you
splat.
on your way by when you crit
Falling
roll.
damage.
You should have taken the goat trail.
now, admittedly, legendary characters in Freedom Squadron benefit from a rule called Heroes and Villains Die Hard, which basically means that you can't die. But if you do somehow critically fail this roll, well, something interesting is going to happen at least that leaves you wounded and probably captured.
In my hands.
Unless you're the one that goes splat.
All
Unless I
right.
go splat.
And since you don't have to do an entire, you don't have to do anything more than just the 1 roll. Who wants to go first?
I
Uh,
can go first.
okay.
So Stretcher is getting ready to go out. She doesn't do a lot of jumps. So she's thinking about the math of the situation, how they're going to fall, where they're going to fall, when to open the parachute. And that's how I'm arguing I'm using physics here, Shawn.
I will allow that.
All right, then I am at a D8 plus 1. Oh, wait, but my zone specialist is here. So do I get another +1?
She
I
doesn't have
don't.
a sky zone specialty.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Dang it.
unfortunately.
Gotta
I'll,
wait for that bonus until you're on the ground.
I'll argue for everything I can get. All right, hold on. So that's a 7. I have 4 bennies. I never have this many bennies. I'm gonna try one more time. It's a 7.
Means you land a little off target, so you're not going to like land right on top of the temple itself. It'll be a little bit down the trail or something like that. But you don't smash into anything, so that's good.
That's fine. Stretcher needs a moment to take a pill.
All right. So I guess I'm coming in and also making the same check. Uh, thankfully, I have reflex. No, well, this would not be opposed because we're sneaking in under radar, right?
Yep, absolutely.
And but my intensive training reroll would count if needed.
Heck yeah, it would.
All right, and I've got mastery for parachuting, so let's go with that.
Nice.
So I rolled a 9 on my D10, and mastery is a +2.
Correct.
So that brings me up to an 11, and I think I'm gonna keep with that.
Sounds good. Yeah. I mean, you do have the free reroll if you wanted to do that, but you already have a success and a raise, so you have landed exactly where you want to land. Meaning, do you want to land on the castle itself and sneak down from the battlements, or how do you want to approach things?
Yeah, let's go for landing on the castle itself, and I'll take an overwatch position while I'm up here so that the rest of the group can join safely, and I'll probably use a secure signal and be like, "So, I'm here. Where are you?"
I
So,
landed
Hollow
on some
Point.
goat trail.
Oh
Hollow
yeah, if you
Point
just come up
lands
that goat
on.
trail, we're just a few minutes past you. I think so. You go down.
Is it
Hull Point floats in for a landing, drops in silently behind some poor Venom trooper who's up on top of everything. No, actually, it would be one of the Venom Scourges. And then she just kind of grabs him and throws him off and settles in to keep an eye on things as
I think
he.
that was Venom Commander.
Okay.
Don't worry,
Um,
I aimed to drop him on one of the goats.
Oh, poor goat.
Poor goat.
so let's call this then another dramatic task to infiltrate, well, to get past security and infiltrate the Sky Temple itself. All right. And so each member of the team is going to have to make their own roll. It's not quite within the rules, but I will allow that since Hollow Point is already in position and has a view over everything, Hollow Point can make a supporting roll that will add a bonus to everybody. But you only get to make one roll, and then that is flat added to each person's roll. So let's see here. We've got a 7 of clubs, followed by a King of Diamonds, and finally a 2 of diamonds. So on that first roll, everybody's sledge, stretcher, and ambush are going to be at a -2.
Can I spend a penny to redraw that card? Oh no, or we can't.
It yeah, it's not an initiative card, so
Right, right.
no, yeah, I don't think that's allowed. Yeah.
So,
And in support.
oh,
Oh, sorry.
sorry.
Go ahead, man.
I was gonna say one of my things is level-headed, so these aren't considered action cards, correct?
Right, yeah, this
Okay.
is a different
Okay.
thing.
Cool.
All right. So supporting them. Are they coming in? Do I need to help them with stealth? Is it survival?
You can use whatever would be the most appropriate skill to assist them with. They are going to have to make stealth rolls. But you could use whatever is most appropriate. I mean, you could give them guidance because you've got survival and you know what would be the best approach on the train since you're overhead and viewing everything. You could
Yeah.
use shooting and say that you've got everything scoped out with your rifle scope and you've got an eye on it. athletics, whatever. So,
All right. So I'll start using survival and because I got some good bonuses to that. And I will start telling them a route to use. I'm gonna be like, the goat trail's great, but there's actually a tourist path that looks like people left behind just a little ways away. If you go 10 feet over that rock, there you go. Now stay on that. There's a nice little camera overlook, so I don't blame you if you want to stop a moment, but keep going. But so I'll be calling out stuff like that to them, and don't forget, guys, zone specialist. We're on a mountain. So let's go ahead and go with my roll on that. So, and I rolled a 7, but with my survival, woodsman wouldn't count in this one. So I'm only using my zone specialist on this mountain. So that'll make it a 9. But that's a sport roll, so it's not a bad
well,
sport.
woodsman actually counts for any outdoorsy terrain, so that would count. Yeah.
Okay, then that would take that up to an 11.
Okay. So that would be a +2 from the roll, and then of course you're getting the +1 for all your trait rolls because
Yeah, that's
of
right.
zone specialist. So it's +3 for everybody's roll on this first test. So it's because of the -2, you're at a +1.
I rolled
Take it.
a 7, so that's an 8.
All right, and is a castle just a different kind of temple, and I can use that or no?
Uh, a temple, and actually that reminds me of something that's going to occur on the next round.
I'm sorry, you cut out for a little bit for me, so it's a no.
It is a no, I'm afraid.
That's totally fine. So I have a 6.
Well, that is a success, so still going strong.
Well, they obviously set this place up in typical Venom fashion. So with my mastery, that's a 12.
Nice.
Okay, so you come around the path, and now you're much more in view of the temple itself with its weird eldritch architecture and all the like. And yeah, stretcher.
Stretcher pops another pill. For anyone wondering, I have a crud. It's one of my hindrances. I have a habit for methadone due to past experience with eldritch beings.
And if I remember right, Carnage Core doesn't automatically make you immune to fear; just gives you a bonus on things. So
No, but I am looking at a +3 to that. So if you want me to make a fear check, I'm happy to do it.
yes, you have to make a fear check.
Oh, I'm sorry, +5. All right, I got 15, so I'm fine.
Okay, I'm gonna give you another Benny for that then. Yeah, for a moment, Stretcher quails in fear at this strange thing that reminds her so much of her horrific encounter in France. But then she just screws her courage to the sticking place and she is good to go. So everybody gets to. Well, everybody has to make another stealth roll, and Hollow Point can make another support roll for everybody.
So on support, that's going to be a 7 this time.
Okay. So +1, but you're still getting the +1 from zone specialist, so you've all got a +2 going in.
And no negatives this time, correct?
No negatives this time.
Cool. That's good because that's a 5 for me
I did
with the
really well. I got a
+2.
10.
I got a 6. No, Stretcher. This is becoming more frequent in Venom Commander's design motif. He's leaning more towards these designs recently for some reason. I think it has to do with the snake people that he's teamed up with.
You, are just like really bad horror movies?
Uh, I don't talk. Can't. It's not something you can just talk about. It's back in France is what put me through the dome. It's indescribable.
I served in France. I've heard some of the horror stories from there.
Yeah, some
That's
of that.
not. Yeah.
Let's move on.
Okay, and finally, it's a 2 of diamonds, which is again no penalty. So one last round of stealth and support.
Well,
Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem.
I was gonna say without
All
support,
right.
I rolled a 6.
So for me, I rolled a so that's 8 plus 4, so that's gonna be a total of 12.
Okay, so everybody's got a +3.
That puts me to a 9.
Is that
All
a
right.
+4 with
Oh,
the?
+4, yeah, actually, yeah.
I got a
And
13.
I got an 8.
Okay, and so nobody had any critical failures. So everybody has cleared it all with panache. Okay, and because we're doing all this theater of the mind rather than worrying about actual maps, let's say because you succeeded so well, everybody gets another Benny.
Yay!
Yeah,
Back up to 4.
because we're about to get into combat soon, so yeah, you
The
might need
pennies
those.
must flow.
Exactly.
Trying
All
to tell me
right.
something over there?
Maybe.
So Hollow Point is in position on the roof of the temple. The rest of you have managed to approach the entrance. Um, let's assume that it's got something of a castle-like structure. So there's an outer wall, and that's then going to provide you with an open space uh, just inside where Hollow Point from her position could snipe at opponents if there were any, while the rest of you would be on the ground. Um, okay. Okay. Any thoughts or plans that anybody wants to make before we move on to the next set of stuff?
No, all my stuff is for after.
Well, if they're following typical Venom procedure, they should be ambushing us right about.
Are we gonna blow the door down? Because I think I can handle that.
I
I
mean,
That's
we
what I
might
declared
as
say. This
well.
is
We're
ambushes
sitting
feeling
too.
right in
really
the place
easy.
anyway.
Yeah, Hollow Point. Are you actually seeing anybody in the castle? Because this has been. We haven't seen
Well, there was
anybody
a
yet.
guy up here a while ago, but he went on break.
No, that's great timing. You land there and he goes on break.
Yeah, yeah. Too bad for the goat.
Is it the
That was the
kind of
break.
break I need to be aware of?
No, 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 absolutely not. There, I will say there was a really cute marmoset. I don't know what you think about large rodents, but he was over there.
The goat's name is Break. He's on break. Shawn, I
Okay.
would like to make a stealth check, if possible,
All right. Sure. What's the plan here?
for moving quietly through the base and watching for ambushes, because things are going way too easily. They're going too well. They should have more than a single guard on duty. I'm a little leery here, especially with all the noise and commotion we've been making at the other bases.
That sounds reasonable.
Can I assist him with notice and my what is it? I
You're
had
good.
something.
I'm at an
Okay,
11 right now.
never mind. I just wanted to roll.
I mean, yes, you can always make that a 12. I will accept existence.
Okay. What was your roll again, Ted?
I got an 11 because of my thief bonus. And yeah.
Okay. So, everything seems to be going well at first. It's it seems surprisingly clear, and then Toxin steps out of the shadows behind you and says, "It's good to see you again." Meanwhile, back in the courtyard, um, one of the walls is suddenly blown apart, and a Komodo armored personnel carrier rolls out of the garage and disgorges a group of 6 venom scourges. All right, and so we are on into combat.
Okie dokie.
Now, because you did so well in the plans and operations mode, you're going to get a bonus card every round.
And then for me, going to be getting quite a few bonus cards.
I can imagine, yes.
Reading everything right. 2, 3. So with Sentinel and improved level headedness, I'll be drawing 4 per round then?
Sounds about right, yeah.
Okay.
I'll just be getting the 1 bonus, but I do have quick.
See.
Okay, so Sledge, your best card is a King of Clubs.
Yep. That's the one I'll go with.
And Ambush, you've got a 9 of Spades. Okay, do Hollow Point or Stretcher have any extra bonuses on initiative?
No,
Just
not for
quick.
initiative. Oh,
All right, is that does quick apply to initiative?
Quick does. Yeah, that means that if I draw a card of 5 or less, we ignore it.
shoot, Sean, I'm sorry. I have level-headed.
That's fine. I hadn't drawn your cards yet. Okay, so Stretcher, you have a Joker.
Bennies for everyone. Are we playing with that optional rule, Sean?
Yes, definitely.
Sweet, up to 5.
And Hollow Point has 10 of Hearts.
Awesome. Man, I wish I got that Joker. Get dead shot.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, you might still have your chance. Okay, I just drew a 2 of Hearts for the Scourges. I'm actually going to spend a GM Benny to redraw that. Okay, they've now got a 6 of diamonds. That's slightly better. And Toxin has a Jack of Spades. Toxin is, however, going to hold his action and wait to see what Ambush does.
Well, that's not worrisome.
Yeah, there aren't any edges that say let somebody, strike first if somebody else comes at them with a weapon. Yeah, so.
I definitely don't have that edge either. Are we going to get into the classic ninja? They just stand there staring at each other.
That is a distinct possibility. All right, so Stretcher, you're actually first, assuming that you want to go first. As with the Joker, technically, you can go at any time.
I actually am going to go first because for once I know what I want to do. Stretcher
Ooh.
has a code of honor, so which is do no harm. So she's going stun baton here. Um, and she's just going at the scourges at this point. I think that's who's in front of her.
Right. Yeah, there are 6 scourges. Then the Komodo is still armed. It's still got a crew in it.
So for
It is, of
since
course, trying to maneuver around so that if it starts trying to shoot you all, it doesn't blow up the scourges.
so I don't usually make attacks. For fun, can I multi-action this and hit 2 of the scourges?
You can. What you would have a -2 penalty on each roll,
But I
but
have the
yes,
Joker.
yeah. So you easily could this time. Yeah.
Then I'm gonna do it. All right, so I'm just making a fighting roll, and then it's a test because they're gonna. If I hit, then it's a test, right?
If you hit, they have to make a vigor roll or be
Okay.
stunned. Their parry is 7. I'm not gonna make it a big mystery here. So.
I'm gonna re-roll that. I'm gonna give that one more try. All right, there's an 8 finally.
Well, yeah, 7 or better would succeed. You don't have to beat 7. You just have to at least match
I
it.
wasn't.
Okay.
All right, and then do you want me to roll for the other guy too?
Are you taking into account your +1 to all trait rolls?
I was not, but I didn't get above a 3 last time, so it
Okay. Okay.
would not have helped either. So that
All
was
right.
technically a 9 then.
All right.
And the other guy is a 7.
All right. So you managed to hit both of them. Didn't get a raise, so there's no penalty on their vigor roll, but they both have to make one. And okay, and one of them manages to shrug it off, but the other one is out cold.
I'll take it.
Yeah. He the guy who manages it throws his rifle up in the way and just blocks it enough that he doesn't get the full shock. Okay. And then it would be Sledge, if I know right. Yeah.
Um, so we've got the personnel carrier. You said it was armed.
Yep. There's still a crew in it. They didn't all come out, so they are ready to turn some super heavy cannons on all of you if they get the chance.
With my, I'm just assuming I'm going to say my Sentinel, which allows me to read combat situations. I can tell if I fire off the Dragon M72 anti-tank rocket launcher, is it going to take? Is there going to be any splash damage to my squad?
Well, because we're doing this theater of the mind, we can always assume that you are moving well enough during the combat that you get yourself in position where it's not going to explode all over Stretcher.
Okay, yeah, that's trying to stay away from that.
Yeah.
And with rapid fire, that allow me to fire twice.
Yeah.
Cool, because normally it's rate of fire of 1, but with rapid fire I can pull that off. Correct.
Yes, you can.
Cool. All
Yeah.
right.
He is the expert at blowing up things with rocket launchers.
So I got a straight 4.
Well, that's a hit on the first hit, the first shot.
Okay. You want me to roll for hit twice before we do the damage?
No, each damage roll is going to be separate, so go ahead and make that damage roll now.
All right, so that's going to be 4d10. So that's 12, 20, d6. It's 21.
What's the armor piercing on that?
Armor piercing's 34, but I also get +4 to armor piercing, so 38 total.
Did you add also? You have improved anti-tank training, right? So you get to roll an extra die 6 of damage too, right?
Yeah, I did that. That's how I
Okay.
rolled 4d10 plus 1d6.
Okay, so that's all taken into account.
Mm-hmm.
What was the armor piercing again?
38 total.
Totally ignores their armor. Sorry, what was your damage roll? I can't seem to remember numbers at the moment.
That's right. 12, 21.
21? Okay. 21 and let's see here. So that is 2 wounds.
Okay.
Yeah. The vehicle has 4. That
Okay.
also means that we have to make a roll to see if there's any critical stuff there.
Okay. Is that on the vehicle table?
That sure is.
Okay. So roll a 2d6 to get that? Yep. 5, 6, 7. So the vehicle suffers a hit in the body with no special effects. That was the chassis.
And you can move that by 2 steps in either direction.
Yeah, let's go up. We'll move it up 2, so for the crew.
Okay. All right. So that means then that we apply that same amount of damage to a crew member, but just one of them. So,
They got blowed up.
yeah, the driver specifically got blowed up bad. There's still a gunner there managing the guns, but the driver got blowed up real bad.
Right? Sorry. Take another shot. 7. 18, 19, 20, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24 points of damage.
All right. Well, and considering the ridiculous armor piercing of that, that basically means you bypass the Komodo's armor entirely. Okay, that vehicle is now a smoking ruin.
Take that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Don't bring no vehicles around me. Take them out. So I guess the gunner survived all that. Sad.
I don't think he did. We're just not going to bother to check on that. Okay, so yeah, all right. Toxin. Toxin had a jack, right? So meaning he is next, and
Is he
Yeah,
going to
he's
step within range?
he's gonna go ahead and step to you and just get into the fight. He's got no patience for this right now.
All
You're not
right.
blindside after all.
He's going to trigger my first strike then.
Yep, I know.
All right, first strike. I'm going to re-roll that because that's an 8, and I know he has a parry higher than that. So I'll burn a Benny. That's an 11. Still pretty sure his parry is higher than that, though. I'll burn one more Benny. Come on. Just so you guys know, I'm rolling d10s, and I basically have to get an 8 or higher. That is 3 bennies down. I have 2 left. I think I'm going to miss that first strike.
Okay. And he counters that with his counterattack edge.
My hope was, guys, that he would keep at his distance, and then Ambush could be like, well, fuck, I can't handle him one-on-one. Shoot him and run away back to the group.
Ooh, he's going to attempt a disarm, actually, which is a
Oh.
called shot. All right. Well, I know that that actually wasn't a success, so I'm going to spend a GM Benny there.
My parry is currently an 8.
Oh, then it was a success, just barely.
No, Ambush is great at dealing damage, but he also tends to take damage too.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, actually, with Combat Acrobat, my parry is a 9.
So I do spend that Benny, and I miss worse than I did the first time.
Sorry, I forgot he had Combat Acrobat and Dodge. I thought he had just Dodge. My apologies.
Yeah, that's right. Combat Acrobat. That is such a sneaky thing. I kind of preferred back when it was a bonus to parry rather than a penalty to the opponent's roll because it's so much easier to remember that way. And because this is a big old kind of dramatic moment, though, I'm going to go ahead and spend one up. No. Yeah. He misses, activating your opportunity to do a counterattack.
Oh man, it is ninja versus ninja.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
That's okay. I had my moment blown it up. Backdrop of a flaming vehicle.
I did not get my 8 or higher that I need to hit him. So it's a
Okay.
lot of shing, 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 shing of just miss, 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 miss.
I'm just up here watching. I'm like, man, I couldn't dodge any of those.
Yeah, so it is a flurry of blows. Shinobi Gatana against Shinobi Gatana. Barely dodging out of the way, and now I finally get to actually make my attack because I haven't actually made my attack yet. All right, so that was all just edges in action.
Preamble.
Yeah.
I'm
All
still an 8
right.
and he's at a -1.
But a 10 would hit. So.
Yep, that it would.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And let's see here. $15. Oops, sorry, I forgot. He's got a slight bonus there. So 17.
Armor piercing on that is the regular Shinigawara, so that's AP5, I
4.
assume?
4, actually, in this case.
Oh, mine is better. Okay. AP4, that soaks up all but 1 point of my armor. So that is going to be a 17 versus a 9. He's going to be hit with the raise. Oh, that's damage.
Yeah, that was damage. So now you get to soak that.
Yep. And I will burn one of my last 2 bennies to soak. Luckily, I have a D12 vigor, which helps when the 12 rolls the 4 that I need. God damn it. I just realized I have Martial Warrior. Does that count towards swords, or is that just unarmed?
That is just unarmed, though we've got an edge planned for the Occult Operations Manual, which is another Kickstarter down the line that's going to allow people to basically apply some of their martial artist edge stuff to their weapons
Nice.
because martial arts schools teach handling weapons as well as punching people, and I've never quite understood why there's a difference there, but okay. Anyway, um, let's
Soaked.
see. Okay, awesome.
No, the tiny peek I've gotten at the occult manual is really cool. I'm excited for when that comes down the line.
Okay, it is Hollow Point's turn next.
All right. Well, I'm coming to a certain realization. Oh yeah, I was supposed to be shooting at stuff.
Man, that looks really
And
cool.
Explosions, sword fights.
And let's say
and
that Ambush and Toxin are on top, are on the landing on a walkway, flames casting their shadows behind them, Adventures of Robin Hood style.
Nice.
So they're visible enough if you wanted to take a shot at Toxin, or you could open fire on the scourges that are closing in on everybody else, whichever you prefer.
Shoot
Yeah.
him! Shoot him!
there's this question I have, unfortunately, and that is I have the hindrance code of honor. Would that affect at all me interfering in this duel? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ted. I'm really sorry.
I don't know that it would any more than sniping the scourges would be a violation of that. It's more like if somebody makes a promise to you or something like of that.
Because otherwise, I was just gonna be like in the immortal words of Jackie Chan in the movie before World War III: "Fight with honor, you will win."
But if Toxin is
No, it won't.
yeah, if Toxin is actually shouting at you through the comm button, shoot him, shoot him, shoot him, then I think it's okay to
Okay.
take a shot at him.
Yeah, let's go ahead and shoot at him then. That hey, I'm here to help.
I'm not proud. Kill him.
Oh no, I'm vengeful. I'm not overconfident. Shoot him. I don't care. As long as he goes down, I don't care how.
All right, so yeah, I'm shooting with my rifle, and I've got, of course, double tap and marksman. So that should also get rid of one of the penalties in there. So let's hit this guy. But altogether, I think my bonus is going to be plus, the location we're in with zone specialists should be at a D12 plus 5.
That sounds about right.
And I
Unless you
rolled.
want,
Oh yeah, sorry.
unless you wanted to take a penalty on it to make it a shot to the head or something like that for extra damage.
No, yeah, no, nah, nah.
Be
Catamount
greedy.
to it.
I'm not certain how good this guy is, and so no, I rolled a 10 plus that 5 puts me at 15.
Yeah, that is a hit with a raise.
Are you
All
also doing
right,
your train, John?
what's up?
Are you also doing your train bonus? So would that be a 16?
Oh yeah, no, I already put that in
Oh,
there.
okay.
Yeah, I got that because of my mastery, my double tap, my marksman. Yeah,
Nice.
so and I didn't use sniping because I'm not taking a full round to aim because people need help. All right, so that is going to be 2d10 plus 5 plus 1 for the damage from one of my things.
Plus
And plus
one,
another
plus
one.
yeah, plus an extra d6 because it's a raise.
All right, let's have some fun.
I forgot the +1 for the zone specialist in my fighting roll.
Oops.
All right, so that is
That
a
can be a lot to
10,
track. It's easier when you're like in person.
a 10, a 3, a 3, and then plus 1 for zone specialist. No, zone specialist won't add to that.
Right.
But the double tap says that it does add a plus 1 for my damage, and I think that's the only one that's going to affect the damage.
Sounds about right.
So altogether, though, that is still going to be 16 plus 5 plus 1. So that is 21.
22.
22?
22.
I don't math. Sorry. 22.
Yeah, you do you?
What's that?
I can't remember if Hollow Point has assassin.
I do not believe I
Okay, yeah,
do.
because
I
she's
gotta
not
have that
really an
listed in
assassin
here.
type. I just wanted to make sure there. Um, Now, I mean, it only takes a 4 to hit somebody at range like that. You're not at long range. Um, so do you want to spend a Benny to say that you did make this a called shot and add another 4 points of damage to everything?
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? Let's get that Benny
Okay.
in there.
All right then. So that's a total of 26.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure what's the armor piercing on the gun? I know it's really high.
It's 10.
Yeah, I know it's really high.
And I'm using double tap, so technically I get another shot.
Well, no, I think double tap, if I'm right, basically assumes that you take 2 shots in rapid succession, which gives you the +1 to hit
Ah,
and the +1 to
okay,
damage.
and the plus 1 for damage. Okay, there we go. I didn't understand that.
And sorry, 26 for total damage, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So he has tougher than nails, which gives him 4 wound levels. His figure isn't that great, but it's not bad.
And the chat has bought another Benny for anyone who feels that they need one more. So just one person,
Chat.
though.
I'm good right now.
I am down to 1 Benny left.
Well, then you got another.
Sounds like you, Ted.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, Rue.
Okay. So he does soak 2 wounds, leaving him at a -2. Like it goes through arm and technically he actually is ambidextrous and can be wielding 2 swords. So let's say that has put that one arm out of commission, and so he even as he was just about to draw his second blade, he drops it and instead is forced to confront ambush with only the one sword, and now added -2 on his rolls.
Nice.
Thank you.
I'm helping.
Okay, that leaves the just the scourges left, and they are really only able to see Stretcher and Sledge, so that's who they're going to target then. Okay. Um, let's see here. Scourges are elite troops, so they are actually kind of tough. But again, since we are dealing with a situation where we're doing theater of the mind, everybody gets to move some during the round. Let's assume that both Sledge and Stretcher have ducked behind some cover. They are hiding behind a shattered piece of the Komodo that is left over and is not burning so hot that they can't hide behind it. So I am going to then give you guys a cover bonus of 2.
Okay, I also have dodge. So when does that work into? I have dodge against
That would
ranged
work
attacks.
into this too, yes.
Okay, so I would
So,
be at a -4.
right.
Okay.
So I also have dig in, and I'm sorry, I'm reading it really fast.
I also have dig in too.
Digging is more for like grenades and things like that. Do you have dodge? I can't
Okay.
remember.
I do not have dodge.
Okay.
Wait, I do have dodge. I'm sorry, I can't read.
So they're at -4 to hit the two of you.
Dig in is as long as you're prone, you have a +1 versus incoming ranged attacks, and you get a +1 to evade like grenades and missiles and stuff like that. Improved dig in allows you to have a +2 versus evasion rolls. One of the other cool things about dig in, which is a Freedom Squadron exclusive edge, is that it stacks with cover, whereas dodge does not.
All right. So they are letting loose with suppressive fire. Uh, it is a very effective tactic. In case in case you're a GM and you have never used it in a modern setting game, it's a wonderfully effective tactic for extras to use. All right, so they let loose with a full blast from their Venom Scorponok assault rifles. Um, Both of you are now distracted, which means that you are at a -2 on your trait rolls until the end of your next turn. -1 effectively, since you've got the +1 from the zone specialist. And Sledge got hit, so he's going to possibly suffer some actual damage. Possibly.
Good. I
As
know
it
what I'm
should
doing
be.
next round.
Since you do actually have an edge or a special ability, I can't remember which it is, that allows you to do healing in the middle of combat.
I also have combat trauma, so die.
No, don't want to die. That'll look really bad on my record.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
It'll look great
yeah,
on mine.
Brought him back from death.
yeah. That would look good on yours. Yeah. Let's just avoid dying.
Okay. So total of 10 damage, AP4.
Okay. This is like the first time I've gotten into this kind of combat. So I've got a toughness of 15, and I've got ballistic armor on +8.
It did nothing.
Sorry, stretcher.
That
God,
one stray
dang it.
bullet just lodged in one of the ceramic plates that makes up the ballistic protection.
Souvenir.
You had one job. One job.
You can see the disappointment on Stretcher's face.
Don't worry, I'm going to be working on that one for you there, Stretcher. Don't
I
worry.
mean,
But you're
it's
so
a
far
difference
away.
between, a Purple Heart and a Medal of Honor. Come on.
All right, and we had a Joker last round, so that means that we are recalling all of the cards.
Oh, nice.
John, my whole plan here is act defensive while you shoot him from a distance, because I cannot take him in a one-on-one fight.
Yeah, do you want to start using the defend maneuver? And
I am actually going to be using that because Ambush has a special ability that works with the defend action.
Okay. So how many cards does everybody get again?
Well, I have a quick question. I've one of my abilities is calculating. So if I choose an action card of 5 or less, I can ignore that -2 distraction penalty that's going on right now. Correct?
Yeah,
Cool. I just
technically.
wanted to make sure before the cards started falling.
Hmm.
I'll get 4.
Okay. Let's deal with Sledge first then. We've got a 4. We've got a 3. Another 4. Uh, and a 2.
Wow. And does it matter on on what suit I choose? Like, is the club better than the 4 diamonds?
Only
The
in the
4 of diamonds is better,
I'll
actually.
take I'll take the 4 diamonds.
it'll just matter out for ties. If someone else draws a 4, then
Gotcha.
suit determines the order.
Okay. How many cards does Hollow Point get? You've got.
I'm just at the one, but I have quick.
Okay. But everybody's getting an extra card each round because you did so well during plans and operations.
Yay!
Woo!
Something happened.
So far, I see a 6, but I don't see any other cards.
Yeah, it did this to me last night too. I'm not sure what happened.
Womp womp.
You know, I have a deck right here I can draw from.
Unfortunately, unlike suited or capers, it's one shared deck for
One
everyone.
deck, yeah.
Okay. Because I'm having problems, I'm going to recall and see if we can do this again. We're just going to remember that Sledge had the 4 of diamonds.
Yep. Wow.
Okay, pasta.
Um, forget, does it Ambush have level headed?
Ambush is getting 2 cards with quick.
Okay. So we don't have to redraw either of them. Does Stretcher have quick? I forget.
Stretcher has quick and level-headed.
Okay.
So 3 with quick.
I just noticed that she has quick because I don't read fast.
So what is that? 3 2s, 2 5s, a 4, and 2 6s so far?
Yeah, and oh yeah, we still have one more card for her because we've only gotten 2 that are above that are 6 or above.
It's okay, I got all the jokers. I'm fine with taking low cards.
You just drew 3 as well.
There we go. You've got a
How?
king.
There it
Fine.
is.
Okay,
It's
I
the
can't
last time I
Okay.
remember.
wear a green shirt on a green screen.
I was going to say, it also comes down. I mean, just get some brighter lights on you or on your background, and that'll also help. Yeah, see?
Okay. All right, we are good finally. Okay, so yeah, Toxin has the ace,
Of course he
but
does.
you don't have to. All you have to do is declare that you're doing that you are doing the defend maneuver. You don't have to actually wait until your turn, if I remember right. So at least that's the way it was previously.
1 second while I check that. My apologies. It just says takes your entire turn, and you can move normally but may not run.
Yeah. So since we don't have the time and energy to get Clint Black on the line, let's just assume it goes into effect immediately and it takes up your entire turn.
Works for me. In that case, my parry is a 15.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I haven't moved yet, so it's a 14. So parry 14, and they're -1 because combat acrobat.
Oh yeah. And he's at -3 because he's wounded too. But he's the kind of obsessive guy who is just going to continue making attacks. All right. Let's see here. He's actually got this new edge called Godlike Speed,
No.
which, similar to a certain edge in Deadlands, gives you the ability to do up to 4 actions per turn, but that would be at pretty severe penalties, and since he's already wounded, it's just not worth doing, even though it's really cool. Okay.
Here's
Dude.
a question I never thought about. Can you
Mhm.
counterattack when you're acting defensively?
You
It
couldn't
just says no
in
multi-actions.
Yeah, you couldn't in the previous edition. I do not see anything saying you can't do it this time, which is why I would love to run a Zorro type game.
Yes.
So let's assume that yes, you can counterattack. I'm pretty sure you can in Suede.
Yeah, Suede says nothing about counterattacking and defending. Neither does Freedom Squadron.
Ah,
Sorry, guys. I learn new stuff every day, too.
and I have burned all of his bennies, so he missed badly. Badly.
Hey, Shawn, guess what?
What?
I got a 14 on the counterattack.
Yeah. Technically, he's got a critical failure. Actually, I rolled a 7 and 2 ones. So yeah.
Well, he's going to have 14 damage coming his way, AP5. Because Ambush has strength of D12 plus 2. My sword has strength plus D6 plus 2. And I also have a plus. Actually, I rolled a 10 and a 1. That's an 11. Plus 5. That's 16 coming his way.
Well, that is still only 1 wound, though. Yeah.
Did he ever
Totally.
unshake?
Oh shoot. Yeah. Forgot about shaking. Okay. This is why it's good to actually have people who know the rules with you. No, technically he didn't. So I'm going to borrow somebody else's Benny and spend it on him, so as to counteract the fact that I had him act without having properly unshaken ahead of time. Which means that Vipress and Gorgon now only have 3 Bennies between the two of them.
So
All right.
Toxin is shaken then. Woohoo!
Yeah. Shaken and another wound. So yeah, he's at -3 and shaken.
I'm sorry I couldn't make the cut.
Okay, you get another Benny for that.
Puns should always get bennies.
I like puns.
Puns are great.
Man, now I wish I had sent mine and not put it out in chat.
Always say the pun.
Yeah, earlier when we were fighting in the forest, I told the guy, I guess we can leave him here.
All right. So technically, Stretcher, you're next.
I'm gonna go on hold then for the moment and see what happens around me.
Wait for someone to get hurt.
Shut
That
up.
sounds reasonable within the circumstances. Meaning then that it would be on to Hollow Point.
Shooting the guy again. Let's shoot him. So that'll be my D12 with that +5.
And again, you only need a 4. So did you want to take a penalty on your roll, a -2 or a -4, to add more damage as a called shot?
Uh, yeah, we'll do that. But I'm also going to go ahead and spend a penny and reroll.
Okay.
I rolled a 2, so I'd rather get higher than that on a D12.
That makes sense.
I
There we
save.
go. So that's going to be an 11 plus 5 is going to be the 16. And then the penalty for that called shot is 4.
If the maximum damage would be a 4, so that would still be a 12, so hit with a raise.
There we go.
I still
All
say
right.
we
And
need to make an
damage.
edge that adds half your parry against ranged if you're a sword saint.
I have been thinking that we need something like that in the occult manual. Again,
Sorry,
mystic
John.
bar- mystical martial arts are in the occult manual because it just makes sense. It's
Yeah.
mysticism,
Yeah,
So
totally.
yeah,
All right. So that is going to be a 6, a 4, a 6 on the D6, and another 5 for that weapon plus 1. So that is
22.
12.
22
Yeah,
again.
thank you very much.
yeah, he's out of the fight then. Yeah. Technically, a called shot at a -4 is an option that would be, targeting the head or the heart or something like that. Um, but upper level villains like him also can't really be killed. So, what do you think? Maybe it shatters his helmet and leaves him unconscious on the ground, bleeding from a bad wound to the scalp.
Sounds good to me. Yeah.
All right, awesome. And let me see if I can do something about the cat behind me. But
No, keep it.
okay. Um. All right. So I guess that leaves the scourges now to make an attempt. Um.
I would just like to
th-
say I'm running down along the walkway, at least, or moving down the walkway, just so I can have my fighting style evasive.
that makes sense. All right. Um. Okay. So scourges are gonna do the same thing. They're like slowly marching forward in a line, guns blazing as they try to take out the people that they know are around, the ones hiding behind the hunk of Komodo. Okay, so three shots, three of them actually hit, while the others just missed terribly. You rain of lead just pinging, well, titanium alloy or whatever, pinging off of the metal in between you and them. And let's see here. Since Sledge has already been hit once, we're going to do two of those hits against Stretcher and one against.
Hey, medic isn't doing anything anyway. Go ahead, shoot me.
I'm also good soaking up that damage. I mean, I would probably have positioned myself in that way. knowing that if things go sideways, we really need our medic.
Okay, so first hit against Stretcher is 12 AP4.
So I have
So
toughness 14 and then armor 6.
yeah, and what are you wearing for armor again?
Oh shoot, I was just staring at it. One sec.
I'm pretty sure it's got ballistic protection.
Yeah, it was +6 ballistic protection. It's a custom Kevram combat armor.
Okay, so it's actually 8 AP4.
Oh, okay.
After applying the AP4, does it do anything, or what's your toughness again?
Toughness is 14.
14. So no, it does nothing. Ballistic protection is awesome. Of course, they've got it too, but and same thing. So you're fine there. And it's just an insultingly small amount of damage. Like a bullet ricochets and bounces off of Sledge's face, but it doesn't actually hurt him. Like
I count
fall.
that.
Yeah. All right. So Sledge's turn.
So can I use? This is stupid. Can I use my Wolverine to fire off the full load of 3 missiles at the incoming troopers?
I believe
Yes.
so. I don't think it's a. I think it's just a line of sight weapon and not heat seeking or anything like that.
Right. Well, I don't even have to. I would guess I don't have to get out of cover because I also have. Where's it at? I wrote it down. I also have danger sense, so I kind of know where everybody's at, so I don't really even have to need to look. Just shoot.
Yeah, it is specifically an anti-personnel weapon.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah, you can switch to anti-personnel rounds. They only do AP5, but they explode in a large burst template. So
And the damage is still wet on that one.
still 6 dice 6. You said
Okay.
it was the Wolverine, right? So
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
hmm
Yeah. We'll switch to that then.
The only downside is they get a chance to evade it.
That's true.
Probably confuse them.
You're the guy everybody hates in Halo when you're doing team battles.
My favorite lead-in for anything is "This is stupid," but
Yeah. Yeah. Just want to smack them. Okay. So let's see. I gotta. All right. So shooting is 10. Heavy weapon mastery, so that's 12. I'm also going to use marksman to give me a +1, so that'll be 13. And then with calculating, I'm going to ignore the 2 points of penalties from before.
Sounds good.
So that's 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah,
So
that's a hit with a raise. Yeah.
So with the Wolverine, do I need to roll for each of the missiles that I'm launching since I'm firing all 3?
Well, technically, with a rate of fire weapon like that, if you're launching all 3, you would roll 2 additional shooting dice as well, and see if those also hit. So if you want to do that retroactively, that is cool.
Okay, sorry, I didn't realize. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5, 6. So that was a 11, a 5, and a 6.
Yeah, that is all hits. And then you just roll each missile's damage separately.
Okay. So that is going to be 66, 4, 5, 6. So because of my heavy weapon training, I get another d6 of damage and another +4 to the AP. So right now we're looking at 8 AP per missile.
fires and missiles.
The missiles.
So it's going to be 5, 10, 20, 24 for the first missile, plus
Okay.
8 AP. So 24 for the first one. 6, 9, 12, 17, 20 for the second one.
Aaron and I were just discussing how awesome missiles are and how they're some of the best parts of Freedom Squadron because they're exciting and everyone enjoys them, even the GM.
Yes, true.
12, 18, 19, 20, 25, 27 on the third one. So it's 24, 20, 27.
Okay, so Scourges, unlike your typical extras, have the resilient ability, which means that they can take a wound. They're not automatically taken out if it exceeds their toughness. However, each of those explosions is more than enough to take all of them out. So yes, they are scattered, to say the least.
Uh, sorry, I don't think there's going to be anybody you can save from that group.
Don't want to save them, want to save you. Just freaking hit already, your dumb forehead.
All right, and with that, then, a pair of inner doors open, and Viperus and Gorgon stand there with General Steel in chains. Viperus has a gun to General Steel's head. She has the drop on him. Any attempts to attack immediately are going to allow him to shoot him in the head. And Gorgon is giving you a slow clap as he strides forward confidently. Impressive. Most impressive. I am honestly very pleased with your performance today. I knew I could count on Freedom Squadron for this. Let's make a deal here. We don't shoot your precious general in the head, and you let the two of us retreat back into our citadel to prepare ourselves for your next move. How does that sound?
Out of character, how irreverent do you guys want me to be?
You can be however irreverent you want to be. Yeah, it's not going to hurt my feelings.
Then Stretcher says, shoot him. I'll take care of him.
Halvoint, you got the shot on Baroness?
Oh, I thought you were asking me to shoot. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sure. I have a. Yeah, sure.
If they shoot the general, you're sure you can bring him back?
Yeah, I got this.
All right.
Well, if I'm up on
I'll
top of
back
the
you.
castle, I could always just drop a grenade right in front of me down in,
That sounds reasonable too. You can try that first.
I just blew up the general. It's just a little bit of explosion right at his
I'll
feet
live.
while he was bound and gagged.
I've already been court-martialed once. I'll be fine.
Maybe we should just let them go. I mean, once we can blow this one up and they're down 4 bases, I mean, it's going to take them forever to recover from this.
Yeah, and we can be down 2 extra venom specialists also. Let's take them out.
Y'all's call. I think okay, we can do it.
Actually, who is the highest rank amongst you? That's the person who would
That's
decide
a
at this
solid
point.
question.
Yeah, I'm a sergeant.
Oh, I have no idea. Crap.
Yeah, you might actually. Well, I can't remember if Hollow Point is a warrant officer or not.
I'm a senior commando.
I am
Yeah,
also a senior commando.
Yeah, then Hollow Point and I are both sergeants.
I'm just saying,
Okay.
economically, they're both here. We're gonna take down these things anyway.
Well,
Is the general gagged? Is he giving us any indication what he wants us to do?
he's pretty bruised and beaten up. He. Okay. Not that it's going to really be technically that useful at the moment, but I'm going to call another particular rule, one of the setting rules of Freedom Squadron, which is villainous monologue. Um, and basically, you all get another Benny, and I get to have the villains talk for a bit and monologue on without anybody getting shot until I say so. Okay. But what we're going to do is not necessarily speaking so much as General Seal slumps to his knees. He looks up at Viperous with this stern parental look of disappointment. Um, she quavers. She has issues with older men. That's what it boils down to. All right. And then she grabs Gorgon and yanks him back into back behind the doors, which slam shut behind them. As the rest of you are able to open fire or rush up and you don't want to fire a rocket right at the doors at the moment because that would kill the general. But yeah.
Mirror the general.
What if we go over his shoulder and just graze him?
I could do it.
I will allow that.
All right, I'll fire a rocket over his shoulder after them as before they slam the door because I don't want to hit the door because it's just gonna kill him. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
chase him with a rocket.
we'll allow this manages to get through past the door.
All right, cool. All right, so that is going to be 10 plus 12. And I can use my marksman to give me another one still? Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
All right. That is going to be 7.
Okay, that manages to squeak through just as the door slams shut behind it, and roll for damage.
Let's see. That would be, I didn't call it, but I would assume it would be the Wolverine again, just one rocket.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, because that's what I would have had still up. So that will be 4, 6, 7. 10, 14, 20, 24, 26, 28.
Okay, so in the interior of the temple, debris and flame rains around them. Um, Viperous goes down, struck by uh, debris, and the concussion knocks her against a wall. Um, Gorgon, in his incredibly heavy super armor, tenderly picks her up. Says, "You fool! Now we have to make our escape." And he carries her up a flight of steps like Frankenstein carrying the Bride of Frankenstein, into the control room where he seals the door behind them. And then there's a greater explosion that knocks all of you off your feet as the temple spire explodes upward as a rocket, launching them up into the stratosphere as they escape.
Nice.
Cutting back to the interior there, Gorgon has hooked her up to a med bay, and he sits down at the controls, and he says, "They did exactly what I wanted them to do. They've eliminated several of my rivals and put back Venom Commander's plans by months, if not years. Most of his most loyal, foolish subjects, those who would turn humanity over to the Grifstalls, are captured or gone. But I will never forgive them for hurting you, my dear Vipers. Never." And we fade back to you. as you help the general back up to his feet.
Before, as we're getting up, you're gonna hear Sledge patting the Wolverine, going, "You know what? When we get back to base, you're gonna get such a cleaning."
Handy dandy Wolverine.
Mhm. All right. Then we cut to credits.
All right.
All
So
right. Any questions?
Great.
Anything
Why
no,
did
comments?
none
this
of
was
you
awesome.
die?
I
You
tried
know,
to get the general shot.
I tried to get the general shot.
I
Sorry, you were
I
out.
thought about it a few times, and yeah, I decided to table it for discussion later. But
As
that
much as
said,
as much as I wanted the general to be shot, one of my hindrances is loyal, and I'm like, I couldn't do it. I just
Hey,
couldn't do
I
it.
don't have to do any harm. I just need people around me to do harm.
no, but this was awesome, and getting to play high level characters. I haven't gotten to do that in any game system in a long time. So that said, thank you very much, Sean, for coming on today and bringing us this tale. Absolutely loved it, and of course, thrilled with the Kickstarter they have got going on right now. From what I understand, it funded really rapidly.
Yep,
Things
we're
are
doing
going
good there.
really strong. We do have, or I should say that they still have some social media goals that are available to get out there. So go follow their YouTube, their Facebook. Uh, let's see, it's YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. And
Right.
did y'all have anything
Twitter.
else? All
Nope,
right.
I think that's the three of them. Yep.
YouTube has
Awesome.
already met the goals. All that's left is Facebook and Twitter.
Ooh.
How many
Awesome.
days are left
All
on the
right.
Kickstarter?
We have until Friday at
Awesome.
7 p.m. Central. And I'm sure we will do some sort of countdown that night. I know people love to come swoop in as heroes at the last minute, but please just pledge now. Yeah, it's hard on my
Yeah,
heart.
absolutely.
And
But
remember, you're going to want both the field manual and the Friends Foes manual. They are both awesome.
If you
and
were
like
wondering
I
about
said,
all of the mission specialists I was referencing, by the way, about half of those during the plans and operations, about half of those are in the friends and foes. The other half are in the field manual.
Nice.
it's funded. So it's a sure bet. Get out there, do it. I mean, why not? You're going to get a great game. If you like the backdrop, if you like the art that you've seen, all that's also from this system. So seriously, get out there, have some fun, get in on something that, for me, there, it's obviously there's allusion to a part of my childhood. But there's also a history and a story I don't know. And so it's given me an opportunity to learn something and see something new in this. So I love that. So that's my takeaway from it.
As someone who came to this game with really no background for the illusions or childhood or history of it, I fell in love very quickly. You don't have to know all of the lore to get into this. It's one of my favorite things just to pick up and play now. It's a great system.
And we have already met our first stretch goal, and we're not that far away from our second. The first stretch goal is the first adventure in our plot point campaign called Project Awesome. Um, it is basically Freedom Squadron versus the toys that made us, as we introduce illusions and options from other things out there that might be familiar to to fans of what Freedom Squadron is most obviously based off of. Um, the first chapter, Secret in the Ice, is the one that's funded. It is a big blowout adventure, a lot like this one, where it's just everything crazy and wonderful fun about Freedom Squadron itself. The next stretch goal up is the Venom Lieutenant generator that allows you to quickly come up with non-recurring villains, people that if you take them out, they're not going to suddenly escape from jail the next time or have clones or whatever because they're not a carded part of the ongoing meta plot. Instead, it allows you to create crazy weirdos. Um, the next stretch goal after that is the next Project Awesome plot point. It is called Glamour and Glitter, which might be a familiar phrase to some people out there. It takes Freedom Squadron behind the new Iron Curtain to rescue a famous DJ and performing artist who is also an expert in audio technology. And they need her expertise to help examine this strange artifact they found in the first part. A strange artifact that leads to our last stretch goal, which is called Robocon's Rise, which introduces robots that change shape into like vehicles, and will include rules for playing them as well as some characters from that selection as well.
Nice.
Awesome,
Yeah, so
awesome.
everybody go get the Kickstarter. I need that last chapter.
From what I've seen of the transforming robots, very, very, very cool, very fun.
You mean the form changing robots?
Form changing, very sorry.
Metamorphic, even. Well, that said, we're going to go ahead and call it a night here pretty soon, or a day. Everybody, it's Saturday. Get out there, have a great day. Go support a Kickstarter and play some games. All right. Y'all take care, and we will be seeing y'all all soon out there on the interwebs.
Bye.
Bye.